Multimedia English Language Lab is an innovative and state-of-the-art language lab software that offers a unique learning experience for students looking to master the art of English language and develop their communication skills. The lab is equipped with cutting-edge technology and features, including interactive multimedia tools, speech recognition software, and personalized learning modules. These tools and features help students to improve their pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary, while also developing their listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. The lab is equipped with high-end interactive modules to help students through their language learning journey, ensuring that each student achieves their full potential. With its unmatched features, our English Language Lab is the ideal destination for students looking to excel in English language learning.
So we are starting with the demonstration of a language lab. So we will start with the platform software. This is the platform software called SNET Class Language Lab. So let's dive in. So the teacher has to log in with the login password. Once the teacher logs in, you can see a black screen here, connected student. Once the student is connected, automatically see. Now you can see the student has connected. Now we can see the student screen here. So since it's a demonstration, we can see that we have connected only a single student here to give you a brief idea about what this platform software is about. So likewise, if there are more than one, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 60, so the screens will appear here one by one parallelly, and it will cover this entire space. So the teacher can see here from here that how many students are connected on the dashboard itself. So it gives a very handy panel actually to the teacher, to see and monitor the students from here. On the right hand side, these are the panels with different features. I'll come to them one by one. And on the top, there are the features which I will discuss briefly one by one. So let's begin now. The first part is the screen broadcast. So why this is important? The screen broadcast in language lab. Suppose the teacher wants to share his or her screen to the students. So this feature is very important. So how it will be done? First, the teacher has to select this particular student. In my case, it is only one student, so I'm selecting this one student. If there are multiple students, the teacher can select the multiple students using the control button. So I will press on the screen broadcast, and it will say here, it will give a prompt that your desktop will be broadcasted to selected students. So please use the floating toolbar to control the broadcasting. Right? So I click yes. So here is the floating toolbar, and now my entire screen is being transmitted to the students. In my case, it is one student. If there are 20 students connected, so they can see the teacher screen from here. Whatever I do on my screen, the students can see. Now, if the teacher wants to begin voice broadcast, the teacher can do the same. The teacher has to click on the begin voice broadcast, and now whatever I say as a teacher, the students can listen and follow the teacher instructions. Like the teacher can open up any file here, like suppose the teacher can open anything from here, anything. The teacher can say that I'm starting this particular software. You go through this software and you do these things step by step, and so on. Please note, the teacher is broadcasting his or her screen, so all the students can see simultaneously and can listen to the teacher voice simultaneously. So once the teacher is done with the broadcast, given the exercise, the teacher can stop the broadcast from here and can come back to the main screen. So once the teacher is back to the main screen, you click again here, the screen broadcast is released from the students. Now the students are back on their own personal screens. So this was about screen broadcast. So what is about student demonstration? This is also a very important feature. Suppose the teacher goes out from the class for some short work for say 10 or 15 minutes. In that particular moment, the teacher can assign any student from the connected students to become a role model teacher for that particular session, for that 15 or 20 minutes time. So the student demonstration begins here. Again, it says you must select one student to demonstrate. Suppose out of the 10 students, in my case 1, I'm selecting the student and I click on the student demonstration. A prompt will appear here. The student's computer screen will be broadcasted to the following students. Please select a list of students or groups to receive the presentation. So I have 3 options here: demo to all students, demo to selected students, demo to selected groups. So the teacher has option to assign that particular student these 3 options. So based on the situation and the scenario, the student can use these items here. So once it's done, we release it from here. Now the another feature is called the net movie feature. So why this feature is important? Net movie feature allows the teacher to broadcast any video content from the teacher's system. Any video content means the teacher can share this particular content, any learning material, any internet downloadable material, whatever the teacher feels like sharing with the student, like a movie clip. So once the teacher goes on to the file, the teacher can open any file from the desktop, open any URL, and suppose I want to show anything from here, I can select from here. Suppose there is any video, I can select a video, and once I have selected the video, I will play that video, and once that video is played, that particular movie will be broadcasted to the connected students like a full screen movie. So this feature is very important in a language lab. All the control is with the teacher. Then comes the camera feature. This is also a very important feature. Here what the teacher can do, normally there is an inbuilt camera in a laptop, or we can attach an external camera, a webcam on the desktop, depending on the scenario of the language lab. So if the camera is attached, the teacher will click on the camera. The camera will open, and whatever the teacher says, it will broadcast it to the student with the teacher face. And this is very important. The students can see the teacher and can interact with the teacher live. Now, this feature is very important, the play and record feature. Under this play and record feature, in the drop down, we can see 3 options: play and record, a repeater courseware editor, and a repeater. So what the play and record says? In the play and record says, there is an open courseware. Suppose the teacher has given any courseware, any audio recording or any such content which the teacher wants the students to practice. So the student can open up that particular audio segment here. That audio segment will appear here, and the student can listen to that audio. After listening to that audio, can record back in that. So this is a courseware section where the student can play the sound and can record that sound multiple times. Similarly, the repeater courseware editor. Here what happens is, the student has the audio file, listens to the entire audio. Suppose that audio is a 30 minutes audio. Now the teacher says, listen to the 5-minute segment. The student can bookmark that audio for a 5-minute segment or a 10-minute segment or a 3-minute segment, depending on the scenario. And that particular segment, which has been selected by the student, will appear here. So the benefit is the student need not listen to the entire audio. The student can listen to a particular clipping of that particular audio, of that entire length of that audio, and can practice the recording. So this is a very important feature for this language lab. The third feature is the repeater part. Here the repeater part is that the student will get all the recordings here inside this repeater, whatever the student has practiced one by one, step by step. Now the student can again listen to their recording and can check back that they have done any mistakes or not. If mistakes are done, they can re-record themselves to rectify the mistakes and submit the file to the teacher. Very important features. So until now, these features have been defined, and all are very important features while conducting a language lab, a live language lab. Again, one of the very important features inside this particular platform software is the interactive whiteboard feature. Once I click on the interactive whiteboard, my screen appears to all the students as a whiteboard. Yeah, whiteboard. Now, whatever I write here, suppose I write here, hello students. This is an interactive whiteboard. From here, I can select the size of the brush. I can do anything from here. I can create a blank whiteboard again. So the students can again see a blank whiteboard. Once I'm done with this particular whiteboard, I will click here. I'll come back to the main control panel. I click on the whiteboard. I'm released from that particular scenario. So till now we have seen these features. Now comes the monitoring and the control part. So what is it? Monitor and control. Very important feature for a language lab where the teacher needs the control, how the teacher will do the controlling for the students. This is very important here. How the teacher will monitor, how the teacher will understand that what I'm teaching the students are able to listen, are able to understand and grasp to that particular thing, or vice versa. If any student is having a problem, how the student will connect to the teacher and the teacher will respond back. So in our language lab, in each and every connected students, there is a hand raise feature given in the software in the student part. So normally what happens in a normal classroom, if any student is having a problem, so what the student does, the student raises their hand to ask the teacher, sir, ma'am, I'm having this problem. But what happens in this context, in this scenario? In this scenario, I will show you how the student will connect to the teacher and ask for the problem. Now I will ask that particular student who is connected here to raise his hand. Once the student clicks on the raise hand button, the teacher can see here the hand raise feature. Now we can see that this connected student has raised his hand and this student wants to connect to the teacher, wants to ask something. So now what the teacher will do? The teacher will right click here. After right clicking, the teacher can do the voice chat with that particular student. Now I'm talking to that particular student without disturbing the class. That student is having any problem. If that student is connected, he wants to ask me something, I can speak back to him. Now this is what I'm doing live with that particular student. Whatever I'm saying, that student is listening, and only that student is listening without disturbing the class. So once the teacher is done with that, we'll click on the icon again. From the menu here, we'll click on the stop voice chat. So once the student's problem is resolved, the voice chat is over. So likewise, there are multiple features here. The teacher can send a message, a private message, can do the screen broadcast to that particular student, can send a camera monitor also, can send a net movie, can do a voice broadcast, can monitor and control, can do anything with that particular single student, only with that student. Now we come to the monitor and control part here. Once I click on the monitor and control part, I can see that my screen becomes blank and I can see this particular segment here. And these are the blank areas. Why? Because this estate class platform software allows 4 connected students at a given slot of time. This is a very important feature. I can see that what this student is doing. The teacher can monitor from here what this student is doing. Now, for example, that student is playing something on his system. I will show you how. You can easily see here that how the student is what the student is doing on his screen. The teacher can see from here. This is the viewing part. Now suppose the teacher wants to control that students. So how he will do it? He will do a right click here. He will press on the control student button here. Now what happens is I've taken control of that student. Now the student can't do anything from here. I will close that student screen from here and I can come back. Why this feature is important? Suppose the teacher can see that any student is doing the class or not properly. Whatever the teacher has given them, they are doing it or not. So this feature is very, very important in a language lab. Likewise, in the monitor and control part, the teacher can view the next student here. In my case, I have got only one, so I can see only one. Then we have the remote command, again a very important feature. From here, the teacher can launch applications, the teacher can open any website. There is a remote setting, a remote startup, remote shutdown, reboot the system, close applications, and remote login. Yes, the teacher can open any application from his or her desktop to the connected students. The teacher can do a shutdown here. The teacher can reboot the student PCs. Each and every feature is inbuilt in the particular software for the teacher to control. Yeah. Now let's come back to the other features. This is the start group chat because group teaching is also a very important feature of a language lab. Under this group chat, the teacher can conduct a group chat, can do a topic chat as well. So what is a group chat? The teacher can create a group among the connected students and can assign them any topic for them to discuss. Once this is done, click out, you are out. Then there is a group teaching. The teacher can select all groups, can select a part of groups among the students, and can conduct a group teaching. So this is also a very important feature. The teacher can assign any group discussions or any topic discussions which the students can discuss between themselves, and the teacher can be a part of that particular uh, scenario and can understand and can see it. So this is what the group teaching is all about. Then comes the quiz part. This is also a very important part of a language lab. Under the quiz part, we have various features here, like create a quiz paper, start a quiz grader, create answer sheets, start a quiz, and a quiz grader. Create a quiz paper. The teacher can create any quiz from here, can add a question from here. And we have given multiple choice questions here, true and false, free response questions, fill in the blanks. And accordingly, the teacher can, select the answers and can check on the correct answer from here. And after completing this particular quiz, the teacher can click OK. And once it is done, the teacher can send this particular quiz to the students, and the students will be able to perform that quiz, take participation in that quiz. So again, a very interesting feature of this language lab. Various types of quizzes can be conducted here. There is a quiz grader here. Like after the quiz is completed, the teacher can see which student have scored the maximum, like we see in a question paper scenario. So this is all about quiz. Then comes the survey part. The teacher can conduct online survey from here. Connected students can send any type of questions. Again, the format is multi-choice and true or false questions. The teacher can create any scenario from here and can start the survey from here. Click start and it will start. Then this is the response competition. Response competition is the fastest finger first. So here fastest fingers first is like enter the answer here, first to demo. These are the two options, first to answer. So these are three options here given. The teacher can assign the think time and the answer time from here. Again, very interesting. It's a very interesting feature. Now finally, there is a file distribution and the file collection part. In the file distribution part, the teacher can send any sort of file to the students to listen and complete. It can be an audio file, it can be a Word document, it can be a PDF document, any type of files. It will automatically go to all the connected students, and the students can download on the system and can complete the assignment and submit it back. How they will submit? So here comes the file collection part. Without the teacher authorization, the students cannot submit any file to the teacher. So the teacher has to enable this for the file submission. Once it is enabled, then only the students' screens will give a prompt for the students that you have to submit your file to the teacher. So this is all about Estet Class Language Lab. And with this, we come to the end of this particular session. Welcome back. Now going forward, we will come to the content part. Previously, we have discussed about the Esnet Class platform software. Now comes the content. So what we have as a content, the LSRW part. To start with, we will work with this improving skills in listening. Once the student clicks on this particular software, a login screen will appear for the students. So the students have to log in with their ID and password. If the student is not a registered student, can register now here with the name, last name, date of birth, class, section, roll number, login ID will automatically it will be generated based on the inputs here, and the student have to assign their password, save and login. So since I have my login ID, I will do the login. Sorry. Since I have my login ID, I will use my existing login ID here. So once my credentials are okay, it will take me into the program. So on the left hand side, I can see the license to. So in this case, it is license to Digitex Solutions. How many users? 11 users. So in the scenario, suppose it's licensed to XYZ school or college. So the name appears here and the users will appear here 10, 11, 21, 31, and so on. So here you will see about the program, my scorecard, a help menu here, and a logout here. This particular software is divided into 5 units. Each unit is having inbuilt exercises. Unit 1 covers listening for information. Unit 2 covers listening and responding part. The Unit 3 covers listening and note taking part. And Unit 5 covers general listening. Unit 4 covers listening for business information. So what do we have in Unit 1? In the listening for information, we click on exercise 1 here. It says this is a listening for information exercise. Listen to the conversation between two friends making plan to go out for a movie. So I'll play it from here.
What should we do this Saturday?
Jurassic World 2 is supposed to come out this Friday.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be any good.
The only reason I want to see it because I have seen the previous one.
True. Okay, let's see it this Saturday.
How about we hook up for lunch at 12 and then go see the movie afterwards?
Sounds like a plan. Let's meet in front of Barbecue Nation at 12.
So once the audio is complete, I will click on the green button here. Based on the audio, the set of questions will appear on the right hand side. So select the correct answer of the following questions. What day are they planning on seeing a movie? I click on Saturday here. The second question is, when is the new movie supposed to come out? I click on Friday here. What do they plan on doing before the movie? Eat lunch. And where do they plan on meeting? In front of Barbecue Nation. Since I've been demonstrating this, so I know all the answers in and out. So you can see the score here. It's 4 out of 4. Now I can check the answers from here. It will show me the correct answers. And if I click on the See Transcript button here, the entire audio script will appear on my left hand side. So the part is, the student knows that what the audio has been about. So likewise, I go on the home screen here. I can go to exercise 2, exercise 3, exercise 4 and 5, which will give me various exercises, listening exercises on for information, how to listen information and process information. Similarly, listening and responding. In this exercise, I have to listen and respond. Based on the situation, based on the audio, I have to respond. So likewise, as I progress in this particular listening and responding exercise, it will give me complex scenarios. Likewise, Unit 3, listening and note taking. So it's a comprehensive package where the students will be listening to various situations under these heads and will be completing their exercises. And once they are done, they can see the entire thing on the My Scorecard tab here. So a very important package which covers all the important aspects of listening. So once I'm complete, I will do a logout from here. I exit the program. The second component is improving skills in pronunciation. Again, the same scenario, login ID and password. I have my login ID here. If you don't, create a login ID and log in accordingly. Once I log into the program, I can again see that this program is divided into 5 units. Unit 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what do we have in Unit 1? Unit 1 have the sounds of English. Under sounds of English, we have the short vowel, we have the long vowel, we have the diphthong vowel. In Unit 2, we have the consonants, like the plosives, the fricatives and affricates, nasals and approximants. In Unit 3, we have word and stress, syllable nouns, compound nouns. In Unit 4, we have stress and intonation, and sentence and stress. And finally, in Unit 5, we have activity on the minimal pair. So let's understand Unit 1 briefly. Short vowels. So under the short vowels, we have these set of short vowels here. E. This is the sound E. E. We have the word examples corresponding to this particular short vowel. We have a sample sentence here.
Thin.
With the letter E, we have the word example as thin.
Thin.
We have a sample sentence.
Jack is thin. Rich. He is very rich.
Now suppose the student wants to practice recording. Click on the record button here.
He is very rich.
Suppose I want to practice this. He is very rich. I play the sound.
He is very rich.
Now I will record. He is very rich. My recording appears here. I play the original audio.
He is very rich.
I can listen to my track. He is very rich. Perfect. Now, if I'm not satisfied with this recording, I can re-record myself. Listen to the master track.
He is very rich.
The pitch says go slow. He is very rich. My second recording appears here. Play the master track.
He is very rich.
Play my new recording. He is very rich. Now I can see that I am somewhat close to the master track. So I can keep on recording myself until and unless I match with the master track. So this is a very perfect scenario, for practicing and recording, listening to the master track and recording back yourself. So similarly, all the short vowels can be recorded phonetically and can be practiced n number of times recording back into the software. It's a very good feature here. Next, we have the long vowels here. These are all the phonetics which are very important in pronunciation.
E.
How to come out with the sounds correctly.
A. O. U.
Now let's practice.
Boot. Lose. I bought a pair of boots. The button is loose.
Same conditions.
The
The stu-
button is loose.
The students can record accordingly and can practice the long vowels n number of times to correct their phonetics. We go to the next part. We have the diphthong vowels here.
Ia. Ea. Ua.
Same conditions. We have the word examples for practice and we have the sample sentences for practice. And similarly, the record your voice feature is there.
Ua.
Once it is done, there is an exercise at the end of the particular chapter, the unit, where whatever we have learned so far, it's a mix up here, and the sound will be E played here, and based on the sound, the student has to identify the symbol. See, it says I'm wrong here. Next,
U.
it will play a sound simultaneously. Again, I will play that sound.
U.
It says that I am correct. My score is 1 out of 20. Next.
A. E.
So again, I will play this. It says I'm wrong. So likewise, I can go on and listen to all the sounds, and based on the sounds and based on what I have learned in my unit 1, I can complete this exercise. So once I'm done, I'll come back to the home screen here. and whatever my score is, it will be recorded here. Similarly, if I go to Unit 2, it will help me out with the plosives, with the fricatives, nasals, and approximants. Unit 3 with word and stress, and so on. So this basically covers the entire aspect of the pronunciation part, the entire aspect of the phonetics. It's a wonderful software for the students to learn and practice phonetics and master it. So with this, we come to the end of this particular software, the pronunciation part. Let's move on to the grammar part. Similar scenario, I have my login ID. I will log in with my ID here. You can create your ID. And please remember, one ID which you will create will be common to all the three softwares. Again, the same scenario, license to, the name will appear here. The users will appear here. Again, 5 units. Unit 1 here covers the sentence, the subject and the predicate, the phrase and the clause, parts of speech, kinds of noun. Unit 2 covers the adjective, comparison of adjectives, articles, the verb, active and passive voice. Unit 3 covers an introduction to tenses, present, past, future, the participle, auxiliaries and modal, the adverb. Unit 4 covers the formation of adverbs, the preposition, the conjunction, reported speech, the phrasal verbs. And finally, Unit 5 covers the paragraph writing, reading comprehension, and improving skills and speaking practice. So let's see what we have in this. The sentence. The sentence is an introduction. When we speak or write, we use words. We normally use these words in groups as my name is Amit. Hence, a group of words like this, which makes a complete sentence, is called a sentence. So we have kinds of sentences like those which make statements or assertions, as Ramu studies in class 8. Those which ask questions as who are you? Similarly, we have kinds of sentences. So what the summary says? The summary says here, a sentence that makes a statement or assertion is called a declarative sentence. Similarly, there is an interrogative sentence, an imperative sentence, and an exclamatory sentence. Let's see how the exercise goes. We have set of 20 questions here, and each of them are divided into these 4 types of sentences: interrogative, declarative, imperative, and exclamatory. So here it says the question, Michael Jackson was a legendary pop star. So what is it? Is it an interrogative, a declarative, imperative, or an exclamatory? Let's say it's a declarative statement. I come back here. Yeah, it's a declarative statement. So I got score 1 here. Mr. Sharma works in a bank. Again, it's a declarative statement. Score 2 here. 4th is, where do you stay? This is what? Where do you stay? This is an interrogative statement, right? Yeah, so I have scored 3 out of 20. So similarly, I have to complete this and I will get my score here based on my understanding. Very interesting. Come back to the home part. Let's see what we have in the phrases and the clauses part. Noun phrases, verb phrases, adjective phrases, and so on. Next, let's go back to the exercise. We have given 4 exercises in this. Very interesting exercise here. Here what the student has to do is, these are the jumbled set of words, the phrases, jumbled set of words. So the student has to understand and come out with a meaningful phrase. the student has to drag the phrase and the clause to complete a sentence here. So let's do it. It says succeed, we, you, that, are, sure will. Let's do it. We are sure that you will succeed. I'm right. So it has turned into green. If I was wrong, it would have remained red, and my score has increased here. So similarly, once I complete all these sentences in a meaningful way with the phrases and the clauses, I can see that how my understanding has approached while I have done my exercises. Very interesting. Similarly, we have given 4 type of sets here. Very exhaustive and very comprehensive. Similarly, in the last part, we have got the paragraph writing, we have got a reading comprehension, improving skills, and speaking. Under the speaking practice part, in the last part here, we have given 7 paragraphs for the students. Very important feature in this, and a very unique feature of our language lab content. In the paragraph part 1, what we have given is, we have given a short para, like this is the master track. The student will listen to it. Once listened, can click on this record, and after the recording can listen back with this play button. So let's listen.
Opera. Opera refers to a dramatic art form originating in Europe in which the emotional content is conveyed to the audience as much through music, both vocal and instrumental.
Fine. So I have listened to this. Now I want to do a recording. Opera refers to a dramatic art form originating in Europe in which the emotional content is conveyed to the audience as much through music, both vocal and instrumental. Let's listen what I have recorded. Opera refers to a dramatic art form originating in Europe in which the emotional content is conveyed to the audience as much through music, both vocal and instrumental. Great. So likewise, I can practice the exercises and I can complete my speaking practice with all these 7 paragraphs. Gradually, as I progress, the paragraphs will be bigger in size. You can see various topics and various size of the paragraph. The length progresses, and my speaking practice also progresses accordingly. So this is a very unique feature of this particular software. So this concludes the demonstration of our language lab content software, and this basically is the entire package which constitutes Digilab Multimedia English Language Lab, a full furnished, exhaustive multimedia language lab essential for all the schools and higher education. Thank you very much.